This is the Zone 1 podcast for a premium travel experience. The Zone 1 podcast brings you incredible travel opportunities and excursions through networktravel.ca. The Zone 1 podcast features the legendary Jackie Ray Greening, Rick McSwain from Network Travel, and I'm your host, Terry Evans.
Well, I'm excited to go. I'm going with this group, and I'm super excited. Everyone that I've talked to that we've sent to Antarctica comes back. Every single person comes back and said it was one of the most spectacular experiences of their life.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's a place, and an expedition it's a mindset change. You come home not only appreciating the world around us and also going with these experiences, you also realize why we need to protect them. These are very fragile ecosystems. You're not only seeing it there and some of the noise, outside noise about, wanting to start to inhabit these places, extract for minerals, resources. Sadly, we're hearing that in Greenland, where we also operate. So it does, you do come home changed. And that's kind of our motto, change the way you see the world. So to Rick's point, whenever you come back, and I just met someone last week that just got back 3 weeks ago. She was in tears, emotionally telling me about her experience. She was with her husband. And she said, Ken, I don't even have the words. Like I never expected this. I never realized how moving this experience was.
Is it something that is more of a different experience if you have, say, a group of, 3 or 4 couples going together, or you're just a single couple or a single person? Is there anything different from that dynamic point of view?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I can even, and I'll let Rick, you follow up, but it's camaraderie, right? It's that group, it's that community, and you're going to share this experience with others. So I think, going with network travel is phenomenal. I know Rick does so many of these amazing groups around the world. And that's the thing. They've got that camaraderie. They've got that, it's community. And this type of trip is community. So I think whether you're couples, or we actually have a lot of solos that travel with us. And again, the one thing you'll find though that's different on these type of ships, because they're much smaller in the experience, it's a lot more intimate. You feel like you're part of something. The team on board, the team in the restaurants, they get to know you. And so I think that's part of it. It's such a different feel than when you're on a ship with thousands of people. You're a tourist, you're there, but you're not really having that same intimate experience. And I think group travel, and the one that Rick and the team at Network Travel are doing, is a phenomenal way to see these destinations. Because
this is community. You nailed it. It's so much like what we do in Africa, where it's about conservation of animals. It's about understanding more than just a vacation. So it's it's that community where like-minded people are traveling together. And people that enjoy having a few glasses of wine or a shot of brandy or a cognac or a beer or whatever it is, and enjoying the entire experience. And we have people now that have signed up that are coming, that have been with us in Africa and been with us in different places. So many of them already know each other. Yeah. And so it's I think it's going to be just an incredible experience. So,
and that's the word, experience, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what's great too is they all see it differently through their eyes, right? So at the end of the day, it will be, hey, guess what happened? Or this is our story from today, while you're sitting around having your happy hour or dinner. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And that's what's so unique about travel, is everyone experiences it differently. So especially with a group, you have that setting where at the end of the day, it's like, oh, this happened and it was the greatest thing that I've ever seen. Right.
Yeah. I suppose if you're doing things as well, and there's one activity happening in the morning, and then you're back for lunch, and then whatever it is, and then there's an afternoon activity.
It's an iceberg in Grand Prairie. For those of you watching on YouTube, that's an iceberg in Grand Prairie. I just wanted to point that out.
No, I don't see any penguins though.
No penguins in the Grand Prairie Penguins.
Okay, sorry. Focus.
AHL hockey team. I suppose that there's different things. There's might be something happen in the morning, and then there's something happen in the afternoon where you can go offshoot and different things. So people might go and experience one thing on kayaks. Other people might experience something else in a different excursion. And that's where the community talks to each other and says, oh, you wouldn't believe what I saw. And you wouldn't believe what I saw, and that sort of thing, because not everybody's doing the same thing, right?
And that's the beauty of it. right? Because you're all having this every day is like I said, it's a different adventure. And that's what's exciting about it, is you never know what's going to happen. And that,
and what we do too is we set up everyone on a WhatsApp group when we do this kind of thing, and everyone's posting different pictures, and you see and hear about everyone's experience. And it doesn't matter where we go. That's typically what happens at dinner. Everyone's sitting around having a glass of wine and dinner, and they're talking about just what you said. Like, you're not going to believe what we saw today. Did you see that whale, or did you see that elephant, or whatever it is? And I think
an elephant in Antarctica. Wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
We've ordered one for Rick's trip.
Awesome. An added bonus gift with purchase.
Oh,
I told you, where's the mute button? Oh God, look out, Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, you know what? With that in mind, and I know we've talked about wildlife and the opportunity to see it, and the birds and the penguins and all of the things that come along with that. With this trip happening in February, is there something like, is it a whale calving season, or is there something polar bears something happening? Are there polar bears in Antarctica, or is it just
all in the north? Yeah. So if you want polar bears, you go to Svalbard, obviously Churchill, Manitoba, Greenland. Right. Get them. Yeah, no polar bears down there. Probably the biggest attraction to that time of year. We say January, February is pretty much what we would call peak, the summer of Antarctica. And a lot of people are attracted to that time of year because that's when the penguin chicks are coming. So you're always going to see penguins, but the little penguins are, have been hatched recently. And then you see the penguin chicks. So it's quite an exciting time. And I think that's one of the big reasons. You're also going to see the whales are phenomenal. One of the best places to go if you were a whale lover. So a lot of humpbacks. I have videos from a few weeks ago of our group of kayakers and minke whales going right through the kayakers, popping their heads up. Unbelievable.
Did you say minke? Is it Inspector Clouseau?
Minke whales and orcas. Like a lot of people, you have orcas are there too. So you got all these different whale species. And again, the benefit of having a quiet ship, and now we're testing now electric Zodiacs, because again, no noise pollution. That what Bob, and I was out with our expedition leader in Vancouver 2 days ago. He's our expedition leader in Antarctica. He's like, Kent, we had whales basically surrounded the ship. Because again, when you are a less invasive ship, it makes a big difference. And he said, we had whales. People were losing it because they're out on the outer deck, and there are whales, and you have these 360 windows as well, floor to ceiling windows. So you could be anywhere on the ship, outside or inside, and you get these amazing views, even in the sauna. And he said, I've never seen so many whales in my life. So again, another big attraction is.
So Kent, is it similar to the Galapagos, where the animals aren't frightened of humans?
And that is true. Like that's the best thing about Galapagos is there's no threat from humans. It's a protected area, And so I know I've heard, and Bob talked about the other day. He said this is the big difference too between the sailbys. Because a lot of the animals are going to be frightened by these large ships and the noise of the engine, what have you. And so when we are going in, again, we're trying to be much less invasive. And going out in the Zodiacs also makes a big difference because, we'll basically get out and then they can stop the Zodiac and just enjoy, and the nature comes to you. And that's a big difference. Typically, a lot of times when we travel, animals are scared of humans, right? Because of the threat. When you go to places like Antarctica or Galapagos, yes, you don't have the same experience.
We've talked about that before in previous podcasts about, you go to different countries and all of a sudden there's stray dogs or stray cats and people pet them and then they end up with this or that or the other, or they walk in a sandy area around the resort and all of a sudden they've got something on their feet because the cats have been using it at a litter box. I'd imagine there's not too many strays down in Antarctica, is there?
Jeez, I was wondering where you're going with that.
No, and no rats.
No rats, rat free. That's
least favorite.
Networktravel.ca for a premium travel experience. Visit the website today to find out more about these amazing travel adventures. The East Africa Safari in 2027, Antarctica in 2027, Vietnam and Cambodia this fall, Machu Picchu and the Amazon this summer. Also this summer, 2 separate vacation opportunities with private yachts in Croatia. All this and so much more. See them all at networktravel.ca.
Okay, well, let's talk about the people who go on these trips. I have a bunch of questions, like, have there been people go on multiple occasions to take the same expedition? The other thing, I suppose, too, is Antarctica. Is it for extreme adventurers? I mean, do you have to be of a certain age, or is it pretty much accessible to anybody who has the physical ability?
Yeah, great questions. So that's the beauty of HX, is we're probably one of the most approachable, accessible companies for expedition. And again, there's going to be nuances between all the different companies, the different ships, the different ship sizes for what that client is like. But the wonderful thing is, what we get is clients from across the board. And sometimes the word expedition does, people are like, whoa, that sounds like I have to be super fit, super adventurous, a certain demographic. And what we have is again, we have a balance. So you can come on board and be as adventurous if you want. You can choose to go kayaking, you can choose to go snowshoeing, to do the camping. You have choices. Anyone can do Zodiac cruising, because again, the ease of getting off and on. And that is the same for all ages, whether it was my daughter doing it at 10, or the great story we had, Grandma Joy, 94 years old. She got her first passport at 90. I love this story. She's an inspiration. She's been all over talk shows. Got her first passport at 90. Couldn't believe it. Her and her grandson decided they were going to go to every national park first in the U.S.
And then I remember her. Yeah,
Grandma Joy. And then they expanded to say, okay, now what are we doing? We're going to do every continent. They did it in just over 4 years. She finished with Antarctica with us last year. You can read about her, Grandma Joy. She has her own Instagram account. Beauty. We had an Australian woman, 82, with my daughter and I, with a walker. And she was hilarious. She's like, this is it. It's my last trip. I'm going out.
Exactly right. There's still, you could go.
It. And she put the walker aside. You take the walker. I'm getting on the Zodiac. So you can be as busy as you want. You can be as laid back, because you have this beautiful boutique hotel adventure lodge, if you will. And no, you don't have to be super adventurous or super fit. It takes all kinds. And I've seen it couples. One of them wants to go do these things. The other one wants to, maybe stay back and spend a bit more time on the ship and just relax and enjoy, the ambiance of that space.
And Ken, that's another good point. When you're going with groups, like what we're doing, sometimes one spouse will say, you know what, I want to go to a lecture or something. I don't want to go in the Zodiac. You go, and they'll go with the rest of our group or something, right? People will split up.
And that's the difference with set itineraries, where you don't really have a choice, and why we love this, because it's so flexible.
It's really great that, some of the things, as soon as you hear, like you said earlier, the word expedition, you think you have to be Sir Edmund Hillary or Lewis Clark in order to, you're trying to find the ocean through the Northwest, United States or something like that. But it's really cool to hear about the age range of people as well. A 10-year-old can appreciate it to broaden their horizons, and an 80 or a 94-year-old can appreciate it to close a chapter or a book in their life. Is that what it is? Right. Kind of a perspective shift for people? Do you find it, maybe somebody at 40 thinks about it different, who's somebody who's 80, who's somebody who's 20?
Yeah, I think, and again, what I love about it is, and to your point, everybody experiences this differently. We know that it moves people, through very emotional experience. And I think whether you're 10, my daughter exploring this for the first time, she'd never been on a ship before. It's kind of that learning experience. Just you're feeling out that experience for the first time. A lot of you touched on earlier as well. A lot of people, we have clients that have been coming with us. They've been on 20, 25 trips. They've even done the trips over. We have one woman that's on Antarctica 3 or 4 times that we spoke with. So yeah, what it is, though, you use the words purposeful, mindful, you're going to experience that. But what I love is watching people's eyes, and you see, it's kind of that child wonderment of first time experiences. So if you're 10 or if you're 80, you feel like a child again. You feel like that sense of adventure we had. I remember, like, when you're young and you're going out and playing in the swamps and the marshes, and you're finding salamanders, and you're riding your BMX dirt bike and just exploring the world. And so that is, again, what this brings about in people. And the emotion is, I feel like a child again. I feel like I'm doing it for the first time. And I think it's taking people a step back from what I said is the daily struggle and the heaviness in the world, and saying there is a better way. And there's also something that I appreciate the world, and I want to do better. I want to do things differently, or I want to be kinder, or, and I think that's the shift that people have. That's so great.
Rick, this is probably something similar to what people experience when you're talking about the Africa safaris, and obviously it's completely different and different animals, but a life-changing experience. So
well, and everybody that comes back from Africa, I mean, and you nailed it again, Kent. I mean, seeing people's reaction for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I've been to Africa, I don't know now, well, Kenya's 6 times, but in Africa itself as a continent, I think 13 times now. Amazing. And but every time you go, I think the really cool part for me is to see people's reaction, and I think that's what I expect probably from Antarctica as well. So I think people don't realize, like, again, we've had people that cry and that kind of thing this first time they see like an elephant or a giraffe or something,
or that penguin walking right by that zebra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I have penguins in South Africa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, I've seen them. I saw them a couple of weeks ago.
Rick knows that.
So, Kent, for first timer advice, you mentioned, as somebody for the first time, what's the one thing that you can tell first time Antarctica travelers not to worry about? What's the one thing, that maybe they shouldn't worry about or overthink?
And I think I talked a little bit about it, is just don't go with expectations. And I think a lot of times when we're getting so worked up about, okay, what am I going to do on this day and what am I going to do on that day? Just go and let it take you away, because the team on board, the captains, the staff, the expedition leaders, they're going to ensure everyone has the time of their life. And you just can't go in with any pre-notions or assumptions, or you just have to go and take it as it comes. Because like I said, it's expect the unexpected. As far as tips, like we do pre-departure webinars. We have a what to pack video, because a lot of times people are like, well, do I have to bring, all the winter gear? Sorry, Terry, go for it.
I was going to say, is there what's the one thing that people should absolutely pack? I was going to guess a toque. Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah, but my tip, and a lot of times it's not talked about. But yeah, because they're like, what the heck do I bring? Snow pants and all of this and that. You don't actually need too much layers. Layers are great, and we provide the other kit and the boots and the life jackets, all that for going out. And you get a jacket when you get on board and a water bottle, goggles. So the ski snowboard goggles are great. They were my tip, because when you go out in the Zodiac, and whether it be like a bit of blowing snow or wind, or it's the water a lot of times, right? And you're very comfortable. They're very comfortable Zodiacs, but you get a bit of the spray maybe here and there. I have that in Galapagos, or maybe some snow and what have you. So I like the goggles. I think they're great. But the one that comes up that people don't think about again, and you brought it up as we started, was the weather and the temperature, sunscreen, and really good glasses, because the sun is intense. And a lot of people do not bring it or put it on, and they get crazy burned. So,
okay, I have 2 questions.
Yeah.
First of all, we got a lot of questions about what's the food like on board, what's included, and the other thing is, when does the sun set?
Oh, good. That one's going to put me on the spot. I wish Bob was here. About the sun.
Because it's in the summer, it would be land of the midnight sun, similar to the north, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it's, I'd have to check with Bob on what their average, like when the typical sunset would be at that time of year. I think it's pretty late as far as I know.
And how about the food?
Well, yeah, and that's a good question. So you're quite lucky on board. We have 3 venues. So we have the Ane. It's our traditional Norwegian restaurants. Again, nice space, minimal, very Norwegian style, floor to ceiling windows. We do a combination of buffet and a la carte in there. really easy, really laid back. And then we have my favorite, my daughter's favorite is the Fredheim. The Fredheim is like a classic diner. And there they have a rotating milkshake menu, which a lot of people, they say, what's your favorite thing about going on this trip? It wasn't the penguins, it was the milkshakes and the sauna. So in there you get like classics. And I had a guy tell me last week, you know what? My wife and I just wanted to grab a burger and a shake and go back to our room and just not be in the restaurant. You can do takeaway there. And now what's really great is we have, because, you know, on ships, you have teams from around the world. We have, you know, those from the Philippines, Malaysia, India, wherever it may be, and a lot of our teams from Europe and South America, but they're incorporating their comfort food and their specialties now in there. So I know people have loved that. And then if you book into our suites, which are fantastic, we have Lindstrom. So again, you talk about expedition. These aren't the old ships of the old days. This is like a kind of an upgraded 5-course meal, really nice space that you can go and eat in as well if you're in suites, or you can pay a supplement that's really reasonable. They have great eggs Benedict. And yeah, you're not going to go hungry. That's for sure.
So it's pretty much all inclusive though, right?
Yeah. So yeah, drinks as well. So if you want a beer, you want a glass of wine, you want your happy hour G&T, that's included. Again, you get a jacket, water bottle, the Wi-Fi, the gratuities. This is the difference too between a lot of times going on some of the experiences on ships. Like, you know, you spend all your money in the casino and the shopping, and then you get charged for drink packages and Wi-Fi and gratuities. It just goes on and on. It's ridiculous. So yes, drinks, the food, gratuities, your Zodiac cruising, your landings. We actually give all our guests a logbook, which is the best part. We have a professional photographer and videographer on board, and they get a logbook of all the photos and a really wonderful video at the end of the trip. So that's
and you
great.
don't have to pay extra?
No, that's included. So the only exceptions in Antarctica, and this is similar to expedition across the board, because not everyone wants to or can do, like kayaking, camping, snowshoeing, those are optional. For those, partly because we have to do a safety briefing to ensure that you can do the activities and follow instructions. So you sign up for those. But other than that, you're taken care of on the ship and you don't have to worry about it.
What about golf club storage? Is there a place on the boat where we can keep our clubs?
Yeah, you can go to the pitch and putt.
Hit some balls off the back.
Yeah. And yeah, after you've been on the water slide.
Reluctantly.
Hi, this is Terry Evans, hoping you'll join me for the Reluctantly Podcast. ReluctantlyPodcast.com, with guests like Tom Cochran, Brian Johnson from AC/DC, Brian Baumler, and Kevin Lowe, formerly with the Edmonton Oilers. Also Darby Mills, Lee Aaron, Haley Benedict, and more. ReluctantlyPodcast.com.
Reluctantly.
I love this. This sounds like an incredible trip next February. Love it.
Yeah, super fun. I hope you're all coming.
I've got my toque. I'm ready.
No, you're not allowed to bring your curling rocks.
They're only 42 pounds.
Yeah, Jackie's up there in Grand Prairie curling right now. Funny that a couple of curling rocks went missing from the
Paralympics
that are happening in Milan.
Yeah, the wheelchair curling. They're 2 rocks short. Honestly, I didn't take them. I'm being a good kid up here in GP.
So I was going to ask Rick. You said you are going on this trip. Jackie Ray, are you also included in this?
I'm definitely thinking about it. I think this would be awesome because that's the one continent I haven't been to.
Well, we got to make it happen. Tell your friends. Let's go.
February 8th, 2027 through Buenos Aires and then Ushuaia. Am I saying that correct?
Not bad.
Ushuaia.
You're not even close. He's trying to be. Ken's just being nice to you.
Nice. That's pretty good. That's
all-inclusive expedition voyage, return to Buenos Aires, and all of the details there for the 7th Continent Expedition Experience.
Amazing.
Antarctica with networktravel.ca. You want to do a quick fast 5 question, Kent, here for the end of the podcast?
Am I asking or are you?
I'm asking you. Well, I'll ask you because I know you weren't prepared for this. So
I think I saw some, but yeah, I like getting put on the spot. Why not?
Okay. Favorite animal in the Antarctic?
Oh, I'll say I'm gonna go the Gen 2.
The Gen 2.
Penguins. But they're to me it's chin strap as well because I love their little chin strap beautiful chin strap. But yeah, it's got to be the penguins, right? They're adorable.
It's like Jackie Ray's needs a chin strap for her toque.
But also, I hate to say the leopard seals are badass. Leopard seals, if you want to watch some pretty crazy videos, watch leopard seals hunting.
Okay. That sounds.
Are we going to see that, Kent?
Bob was telling me, sir, I won't replicate it on here because it's pretty graphic. He was telling me about the leopard seal kill they saw on the trip. It's pretty.
Oh, is that common to see that, Kent?
He said it's not super common. You know, they have seen it though now and again. The other one he was telling me about quickly. I don't know if you've seen the videos of the orca whales. They're now in sync, and they'll go in under a kind of an ice shelf with the seal on it, and they'll get the wave to like push the seal off. There's been some videos about how they're coordinated hunting now, and they have seen that. It's like,
really smart.
Ooh, meanies.
That's
unbelievably smart.
That's one of the other reasons why you take goggles.
Yeah.
Okay. The coldest moment that you can remember on your trips to the Antarctic.
You know, typically that would have been you shouldn't see it as much in January, February, March. You get more of the blowing snow, and that'll, you know, maybe it dipped down to about -10, blowing snow and a little bit of cold and some of the little bit of the Drake shake.
It was yesterday here.
Yeah, see, it's like Edmonton on a regular day. But yeah, nothing too bad. The wind can whip up. And I think, like, if we're used, you know, if you're in Winnipeg with the wind there, you know, the Winnipegans know.
Yeah. The most unexpected luxury on board the ships while you're down there.
There's a spa. They don't let me use it, but there's a spa. You can get a massage. You can go. We have a hair salon, which is hilarious. I'm trying to advocate for a barbershop, but I think the Nordic sauna is unreal. Like, it's, again, floor to ceiling windows. It's a proper Norwegian sauna. And I had a guy I talked to. I haven't experienced this, but he was in there. He said it was the greatest day in my life. And then I actually was the only one in the sauna. I'm sitting there just taking what a day. And then I look out and he saw whales breaching from the sauna. Absolutely spectacular. But also, if you're someone out there that wants a little more upgraded, the suites are unbelievable. Some of them have jacuzzi tubs on the veranda. We have heated floors in the bathroom, separate bedroom, the full fireplace. Absolutely stunning. So,
wow.
And then, one word or one sentence that you can use to sum up Antarctica.
Oh, it's tough. I mean, you heard it before. I think it's the one that sticks, life-changing. Yeah, I would stick with that. It's life-changing. And that's putting it lightly.
The trip is available now at networktravel.ca. Antarctica, the Seventh Continent Expedition Experience, February 8th to the 19th, including Buenos Aires, the 11-night cruise, all-inclusive, small group, 20 guests, available again at networktravel.ca, escorted by, for now, Rick McSwain.
Woo!
So, yeah, we'll see if Jackie Ray's going to come. We're going to do a pre in Buenos Aires for a little, for a bit of time as well. But nice. I'm thinking we'll probably end up possibly in Chile too. I'm not sure. So it's through the wine country. So because
Chile's
it's summer,
phenomenal.
Yeah, summer there too. So I think it'll be fantastic going down there. So
yeah, this all sounds like I think the greatest trip of next year.
Kent, you're not wrong. Thank you for this. This was awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me on, all of you.
I got to go curl.
Yes, you do. Kent Phillips from HX Expeditions, Jackie Ray in Grand Prairie. Good luck with your ends this week and your skips and thirds and firsts. Rick, thank you very much. Kent, again, thanks. Great to meet you.
Appreciate you all. And cheers to you.
Thanks so much, Kent. Good luck, Jackie Ray.
This has been the Zone 1 podcast. For a premium travel experience, Rick McSwain from networktravel.ca, Jackie Ray Greening. I'm Terry Evans. The Zone 1 podcast is part of the Reluctantly Podcast Network.